Good morning, leaders. It's Anna T. Brooks, your psychic empowerment coach and earth angel. Good morning. Welcome to this week's training slash reading as well. So firstly, say hey when you jump on, whether you're catching this live or on the replay, make sure you say hey. And once again, if you do watch this in the future when it's not relevant to the particular week that this was done, but you feel really called to watch this particular stream to maybe learn about the deck I'm about to share with you or to listen to the reading as well, know that it will apply to you regardless of timeline, right? This is not, we don't work in linear time here. We work in energy. And so whenever you feel called and whenever you feel pulled to see this will be the right time for you. So this is part 3, the third part of the series of Oracle card shares. So what I'm going through every week is sharing a different Oracle card deck with you and showing a little bit more about what it looks like, what the cards kind of, what they're good for, a really in-depth look at how I use them, what I find this particular deck is best for. And it gives you a chance just to kind of connect to it and to see how it resonates with you, if you like the look of it, if you kind of feel energetically pulled to it. So if you do want to purchase your own down the road, gives you a bit of an idea of the different ones, because I have quite a few and I really love to share obviously the ones that resonate with me. So say hey when you jump on. I'm gonna just get my other phone up quickly so I can make sure I don't miss the comments. Cool. Hey, Lyndall, I think, and Jade, you're jumping on. Oh, morning, Jade. Awesome. You're in. Boom. Let's do this. So today, so what I'm going to do for those of you that haven't watched the other ones in the series as yet, so I go through and I share about the deck and kind of go in depth about it. And then towards the end, I will do the reading, which is the weekly energies for everyone within this group, within Leaders Not Lemmings, for the week, right? So I always tune in and ask for this to be relevant to obviously anyone watching live and anyone who's then going to watch in the future to receive the message that they most need. So without further ado, cool. Awesome. Yeah, Jade, so I'm not doing individual card pulls. I do an energetic reading for everybody within the group. So it's like a general one for anyone tuning in. So that'll be towards the end. So yeah, so the deck that I'm going to share with you today is this one here. Let me just try and get it so it's not affected by light too much. So this is the Archangel Oracle Cards deck by Doreen Virtue, which I kind of feel like this is something I might touch on quickly as well, specifically to do with Doreen, right? So because I get asked this question occasionally from clients and everything when I've done readings or other people who are interested in Oracle cards. Doreen is probably one of the most prolific people that you will find in kind of Oracle card, maybe tarot, I'm not actually sure, decks and everything. When you go to purchase any, you will always see plenty of hers because she's just put out so many over the years. She has, in the last few years, I'm not sure exactly how long because I don't really follow her very closely personally, she has retracted basically all of her beliefs. So all of the different decks, and I have a couple of others that I'll be sharing with you over the coming weeks that I have of hers as well. So all of her beliefs, I guess, around spirituality, around, archangels, working with your spirit guides, working with goddesses and gods and everything like that, and whatever else happens, whatever other decks she happens to have. She went and retracted everything in terms of her beliefs, and I believe she shifted into either Christianity or Catholicism. I'm not really sure completely, but you can definitely go look it up and you'll get all the information. But yeah, she renounced everything that she previously believed, which is obviously a lot to do with the Oracle cards and everything that she brought out, and went in a completely different direction. And so I've had people ask me, well, how do I feel about using these decks now that I know she is completely, pulled herself apart from that and separated herself from it and, renounced basically that she thinks that everything that she was doing previously is like evil or something like that. And my answer is I could not care less, right? I couldn't care less. And the reason for that is because I'm not drawn to a particular deck. I'm not pulling out particular cards that I want to use because of my connection with Doreen or because of my connection with any of the people who have brought out the Oracle card decks. It is my connection to me and my source and my channeled guidance, right? So what somebody else believes, even if it's the person who happens to have brought out the deck originally, what their beliefs may be, what their spiritual journey may be, how they may ebb and flow in their beliefs and their alignment throughout their life, that's got nothing to do with me, and it's definitely got nothing to do with my ability to get the correct information and the most guided and aligned information from the cards, right? So that's my belief, and obviously everyone is free, you know, to use their own belief. And if somebody feels like, oh well, now that's tainted and I can't use these cards because she no longer believes in it and she thinks that all her cards are evil or whatever it was that she said, then that's fine. If it no longer feels good for you, leave it alone, right? For me, I've never taken on other people's energy as a guidance for myself, and I've never allowed it to taint my alignment. So that's my choice, right? So I just wanted to touch on that because then when I do the other ones as well, because I have another, I think it's maybe only one or two more decks that I have of hers. I'll just remind everyone to come check out this one, the third reading, the third part of the series where I actually explain my thoughts on that. Cool. So let's get into the deck. Let me just check. And let me know if you have any questions as well. Ah, awesome. Lyndall, she's Christian now. I saw her when she was last here. Ah, cool. And she saw Jesus, she said. Okay, cool. There you go, Christian. Thank you. Because, yeah, I kind of read it lightly and I got the gist of it, but I didn't dig in too deeply because, again, I don't care. So thank you. I appreciate that. Now at least I remember, yeah, that part. Cool. So yeah, pop in any questions if you have them as we go along, and I'll definitely be checking back and going through them. So this is the deck that I'm going to share with you today. So this is the Archangel Oracle card deck, again, by Doreen Virtue. And so it's like kind of that size. Open it up. It's just blank red in there. All right, so that's the box. And so obviously, like most Oracle card decks, it has the guidebook. So it's actually a really small guidebook, this one. I really like it. And then it's got the cards. So the cards for this, so there's how many? There's 45 cards in this deck. So pretty easy to hold. It's not one of the like massive uncomfortable ones or anything. It's got this image, whichever way you want to look at it, that way, on the back of every single card. So they're all the same in that regard. And then, yeah, I'll show you through what some of the cards look like. So they all have an image and then a word or a couple of words. So there's, for example, there's this one here, right? So this says nurture. And so every card is aligned with a particular archangel. So this one here, Archangel Gabriel, right? And so it'll say nurture, and then it'll have like, as you nurture a child, you nurture your own inner child. Both activities are important for you right now, right? So it kind of has like a short phrase. And then obviously we've got the guidebook, which goes deeper into it. So to kind of give you an example of what it says in the guidebook, and obviously I will do the reading towards the end, so it'll actually go a little deeper. So you've got that phrase, then it goes into explaining a little bit longer for the additional message and kind of opening up about it. And then it has a little section as well where it says working with the archangel, so whichever one it happens to be, and it gives you a bit more information on that particular archangel. So it might say, you know, what they focus on, what they're really the archangel of. It might talk about, you know, how they communicate, whether they have certain colors, certain crystals, gemstones, certain, you know, thoughts and that kind of stuff. So you'll see towards the end when I do the reading a few of the different examples and everything. So it's got the section about the message for the card, and then it's got a section of actually how to work closer with this particular archangel. Because what I find with this deck is that, and I'll explain that in a second, actually. I'll explain how I find it kind of useful and what kind of readings it works best for. But I'll show you a few more cards. So we've got this one here, right? So we've got, this says leadership as the main word. And then again, it's Archangel Gabriel. And then it has a little phrase underneath. We've got here, we've got breathe. So it'll have a picture basically of that particular archangel somewhere on the card always. And so that was Archangel Raphael. Archangel Sandalfon says gentleness. right? So they're pretty simple pictures. They're not like something that's going to be really intricate, but you can definitely still tune into, you know, what might be coming up or what you might see, what kind of colors might draw you to it. So this says all is well, Archangel Jeremiah, Archangel Razial, take back your power, right? So there's, you know, they're very clear kind of cards, very clear pictures. Archangel Azrael, this is Counselor. So just going through to show you kind of a whole lot of the different cards so you see what they look like. Archangel Azrael again, this is Comfort. So yeah, and so I'll just kind of show you in general. So they've got lots of, you know, different colors. Everyone's a little bit different. Same kind of shape though, where it's, yeah, the picture at the top and then, you know, the writing at the bottom. So that's just a kind of a more in-depth show of what the cards look like. So you can kind of tune in and see if that resonates with you. For me personally, this isn't a deck that I use for aesthetic purposes, right? And aesthetic purposes, I mean as in one that I just get really drawn to because the pictures or the aesthetics of it or whatever really drew me in. This was purely for me because of what it actually has to share, what it has to offer. Let me just refresh, see if I missed, no other comments, cool. So what I find this deck really useful for, okay? I don't find this useful for doing like a weekly reading or something like that because, you know, often I'll do like the other decks you guys would have seen from the previous weeks. I can ask for like, you know, past, previous, future, or past, present, future, or mind, body, soul. And I guess you could do that kind of mind, body, soul type of question. Actually, that's not a bad one. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. You could actually do like a little bit of an extended reading and have like 3 cards where you ask for guidance on your mindset, your guidance on like your physical, your manifestations, the external world, and then on the soul stuff. But really this isn't the deck I would choose to do that for. It's really not ideal. This is really ideal, I believe, for a single card reading, right? So I've used this one as part of like a 3-card reading for someone where they might ask, you know, they might have a choice to make, for example, where they might have, you know, do I go with A or do I go with B? And so as part of A, I will draw 1 card from here, and then as part of B, I will draw 1 card from here. And so what I then use that particular question, the part, you know, about making this decision is what energy and what power will I be able to tap into by going with this decision, and what archangel will support me in this, right? So I say A is I'm going to go get this job, and B is, you know, I'm going to go start my own business. Then there would be a card, you know, for example, A saying, you know, Archangel so-and-so says this. So, you know, going for this new job will bring you, for example, overcoming difficulties, right? So you will get to a stage where you feel like you're overcoming something difficult, that the worst is behind you, that kind of stuff, right? Whereas then going for, okay, I'm going to start my own business, you're going to remember who you are, Archangel Michael, and he's going to, you know, you're from growing this new business, from starting this new venture on your own, you are going to absolutely remember who you truly are. It's going to take you on a journey within yourself, right? For example. So that is something I find it really useful for. And then along with other decks, I would, you know, pull cards from other decks as well. But like I said, a single card is what I feel this works best for. So, and even in the guidebook as well with this one, they don't suggest any extended readings. Like a lot of the Oracle card decks that you get will suggest different extended readings that you can do, like 3-card, 5-card, 11-card, whatever. This does not have any of that. This literally also suggests just using single card, whether you do it, you know, for example, you know, every day you pull yourself a card every morning to kind of, you know, have some guidance, you know, and this is where this is how I use it most often, is pulling a single card, tune into the message of the cards. So for example, I'll just pull a random one. So let's say I pulled this one this morning, which is Clairvoyance, right? So I would read through obviously the description of Clairvoyance, I would read through the message saying, I'm helping you. This is Archangel Razial. I'm helping you, your spiritual sight to awaken fully so you can clearly see heavenly love, right? So that would be, I would read through as well the connection with Archangel Razial, how to kind of tune in, whether it might be having a particular color. So I might work with a particular color, I might work with a particular gemstone, whatever it happens to be, to kind of tune into that energy and see what messages, see what connections, see what guidance comes through to me from that, right? So it's kind of like, what gift do you have for me today? So today, you're giving me the gift of being able to connect deeper into my clairvoyance, into my seeing, right? Because that's what clairvoyance is the spiritual sight, right? So there's going to be opportunities for me to develop that today. So let me know if that makes sense in terms of, how I kind of use it most commonly. Let me just refresh. All right. Cool. No more questions at this point, I don't think. Sweet. So so that's kind of, I guess, an explanation of how I would use the deck, how I do use the deck, what I find it most useful for. It's a beautiful one to use for every day if you feel called to it. I change it up every single day for me personally. I don't always use the same deck unless I really feel called to it. But you could definitely use it that you're going to pull out a card every single day, right? From just this particular deck, and also kind of get to know the archangels a little bit more, because then if you are in the future you're like, oh, I really want to work on this, oh, that's right, I remember Archangel Razial is the one to call on for support in growing my clairvoyance abilities and my spiritual sight. That's who I'm going to connect with. I'm going to do whatever I want to do, whether it's the meditation, whether it's getting particular crystals, and ask, or even just asking. That's kind of the most basic thing, but it's the most effective. Is the only thing we really need to do in order to connect, in order to set something in motion, is the intent, right? So even just saying, I now connect with Archangel Razial, I ask you to come through and to guide me today, to connect deeper to my spiritual side, deeper to my clairvoyance, show me the way to do this, right? Simple as that. That is really all you need. Like, you can do other stuff, you can wear different colors, you can there's different cards that'll suggest, like, spending time with children or connecting with your inner child or doing a meditation or whatever. Cool. But it's also just as simple as that, right? It's just as simple as asking and setting the intention that I now connect with you and I ask you to come through and support me now, right? And to guide me and to be here for me. So that's everything there. Let me know if you have any questions, if there's something I didn't cover that you're curious about with this particular deck, or even just to do with Oracle cards in general. More than happy to share. Cool. All right, so for the reading this week, like I said, because I don't, like I said, you could technically do like a mind, body, soul type reading for the week, but no, it doesn't feel good to me. It feels really, really forced, and I don't like anything forced. So what I'm going to do instead is I am going to pull 3 cards, but I'm going to pull 3 cards, and I'm going to get you guys just to tune in as I pull them and as I kind of show the back of them. And you can decide which ones you're going to listen to, which ones are going to be important for you, or you can just actually listen to all 3 of them, and then you'll see kind of what message resonates with you, right? So that's what we're going to do. So it could be 1 card that resonates with you for this and for the energy this week. It could be true, it could be all 3, right? We're all going to be getting exactly what we need out of this reading. So I'm going to start shuffling. Yeah, like I said, this is a really good easy deck to hold, which is nice. Really comfortable size. Whoop, there's one. Okay. So I'm just tuning in and asking for guidance for everyone watching, everyone who will be watching, the message that they most need to hear for this week, for what is coming up, for what support they can ask for what Archangel is here to support them and to help them and to guide them. What do they most need to know? Show me clearly. Show me clearly. Whoop, there's a second one. All right, I've got one more to go. Whoop, there it is. Okay. All right, so We have the 3 cards. So I'm going to do it this way so that I don't get confused. Okay. So I'm just going to show the back of them and you can tune in and see. Again, you can feel drawn to 1, you can feel drawn to 2, you can feel drawn to all of them. Or you can also just wait until I actually read through the explanations and take whatever message resonates with you, okay? So this is card number 1. Take some deep breaths and just see if it draws you in. Okay, that was card number 1. Card number 2, deep breath. Okay, and card number 3. Okay, so that's the 3 cards. So pay attention, 1, 2, 3, if there was a particular pull that you felt to them, and now go through and share each one. So card number 1, you saw this one before, is nurture. So that's card number 1, nurture. So Archangel Gabriel, as you nurture a child, you nurture your own inner child. Both activities are important for you right now. So I'll read the additional message. Okay. One reason why it's important for you to help children is because you're also helping your own inner child in the process. You're teaching what you need to learn. So pay particular attention to the messages you deliver to children and their parents. Know that these messages are for you as well. Take time to play, laugh, and to be silly and carefree. Nurture your inner child with as much love and attention as possible. And so this is that second section that I was talking about, working with Archangel Gabriel. Gabriel works with mothers and children during all phases of conception, childbirth, adoption, and parenting. She helps grown-up children as well. If your heart longs for some playtime, call upon Gabriel to make all the arrangements. She'll guide you along as you nurture your inner child. If you ask her, Gabriel will also assist with your own parenting desires and needs. So there's going to be obviously different parts of that message that will resonate for you if that was a card that you felt drawn to. Okay, card number 2, if you felt drawn to that one. Let me just get the reading up as well. There we go. Okay, so card number 2, spread your wings. Okay, so this is Archangel Ariel. Don't hold back right now. The timing is perfect and you're ready to soar. Additional message. Although you may feel intimidated by the prospect of change and by the thought of moving past your comfort zone, you're ready to fly high. Welcome new opportunities and know that it's safe to follow your heart and dreams. Keep your focus upon love, service, and spirit, and avoid naysayers or skeptics. Remember that you inspire others with your story of turning challenges into victories. Working with Archangel Ariel. Ariel loves all living beings and gladly helps them all. She's a master manifester and she's especially supportive of people who are healers, teachers, and service workers. She's very partial to the environmental area and she works closely with the nature angels to protect and heal animals, particularly birds, animals, and fish who live near or in the water. One way to work with Ariel is to participate in environmental work, including picking up trash near a lake, stream, or ocean, donating time or money to an environmental cause, or switching to environmentally friendly cleaning supplies. Cool. So that's interesting, right? Because there's a lot of different messages you can take from that, what resonates. You can take just the pure, spread your wings, it's time to fly kind of message for the week, or you can actually take more into, okay, specifically Ariel, how do I work more with this archangel? How do I get her support more? And looking into that kind of environmental side of things, right? So you're going to know what kind of resonates with you more. And then the third card, let me get this one up. Where are we? Cool. So the third card is claircognizance. And that's actually, see the picture? It's actually, that one's got that picture on there. Claircognizance. So this is Archangel Ariel. And it says, pay attention to thoughts and ideas that come to you as their answered prayers. So, additional message. You've prayed for answers and they've come to you in the form of repetitive thoughts, telling you to take steps and make healthy changes. Don't discount your thoughts or think that they're just dreams or common knowledge. Your thoughts are tuned to higher frequencies right now and are trustworthy inspirations. All great inventions, new businesses, and teachings stem from this same universal source of wisdom. You're tapped into that divine wisdom right now, and it's important to notice and record your thoughts, then act upon the answers to your prayers. Working with Archangel Ariel. Ariel's name means the light of God. He's known for his ability to enlighten our minds with divine inspiration. Anytime you need answers or insights, call upon Ariel. He answers anyone who calls upon him. You'll know that Ariel has answered when you have repetitive thoughts or ideas that are positive, loving, and helpful. If you need facts in a hurry, such as during a test or important meeting, Ariel will supply you with the information. After you ask him for help, the answer will pop into your mind. Trust the information that he supplies. So that's 3 different cards, and I'm just going to share a little bit about some meaning. So obviously, like I said, you'll take what you feel most resonates with you from each card. But the other thing you can look at as well, because this is obviously for this week, this is what I'm tuning into, or for whenever you happen to watch this reading. Also aware that, the first 2 cards, nurture and spread your wings, those are both female archangels. Archangel Ariel, the last one, that's a male. So it could also have to do with, for some of you, the kind of energy or the kind of influence that you're going to feel most powerfully this week. You may feel driven more towards your divine feminine and towards flow and towards ease a little more, or you might feel more drawn towards work and towards kind of, getting things done and getting things in action, taking steps, taking action, that kind of stuff. For some of you, that might resonate, that you just feel that energy coming through. So that was another thing I wanted to share as well. But yeah, like I said, with each of the cards, there's so many different aspects that you can take. You can take the main message, like what we talked about with spread your wings, you can take the main message of that, or you can actually look deeper into the Archangel and see what it is that Archangel Ariel, what she supports you with and how she guides you. And that's where, doing the different readings, you can ask for different things, right? So you can ask, what Archangel wants to come through and support me and in what way right now, right? And then you're probably going to be sticking to that second half of the reading a little bit more. Or you can just ask for, what message wants to come through right now? What am I being guided to tune into more? And then it'll be like something like, nurture, right? You're being guided to, just nurture yourself, to maybe connect with children, or maybe to connect with your own inner child, that kind of thing, right? So there's multiple levels of the cards, which I love. I really, really love that, because you can just really tune into what comes through for you. But that's that. That's it. I hope that you've enjoyed me sharing this. If you have any thoughts, any questions, if you're loving this, let me know. If you're hating this, maybe don't let me know, because I'm going to do it anyway, because this is what I love to do. But I definitely do love to hear, when you love something, or when you have any questions, anything that you'd like me to expand upon, please feel free to pop it in. I'm just checking quickly if there's any other comments that have come up. No, I think we are good. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. All right, so I'll leave it there for now. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a beautiful week, and I'll see you guys next week for the next Oracle card deck. And that's it. Have a beautiful week, and remember, live life on purpose. Mwah.